What if your salad could feed your fish, and your fish could pay your rent? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to turn a tank of tilapia and a rack of basil into a steady paycheck. Imagine walking into your greenhouse at sunrise. Warm air, the soft gurgle of water, green leaves everywhere, and, under the rafts, fish flashing like bars of silver. In a few minutes, you'll harvest leafy greens for the cafe down the street, net a batch of fish for tonight's sushi special, and text your wholesaler an invoice that covers next month's mortgage. That's the power of aquaponics, a farming method so efficient the global market is forecast to hit roughly $2 billion before the decade's out. You're here because you don't just want neat science fair facts. You want numbers, a plan, and proof this actually works. Over the next few minutes, we'll break down startup costs, simple designs that fit in a spare bedroom or an acre of land, 7 cash flow streams most beginners miss, the top 3 mistakes that sink new systems, and a blueprint you can copy tonight. At the end, I'll share the aha moment when one small farm's first restaurant order flipped from hobby to business, so don't click away. First, the elevator version of how aquaponics makes money. In a closed loop, fish fertilize plants, plants clean the water, pumps keep it circulating, and you get 2 crops instead of 1. Because the system recycles over 90% of its water, you can grow year-round almost anywhere people crave pesticide-free greens and local fish. That efficiency is driving a market that's jumping 13+% each year, meaning more chefs, grocery buyers, and health-conscious families are already looking for someone like you. But numbers on a chart aren't cash in your pocket, so let's talk real-world dollars. A 250 square foot backyard setup, picture half a single car garage, can hold 500 head of lettuce on floating rafts and about 75 pounds of tilapia every 6 weeks. Sell the greens at $3, ahead to a farmer's market crowd, and the fish fillets at $8 a pound to a sushi chef. And you're flirting with $2,000 of gross sales each harvest cycle. Scale that up to a full greenhouse, say 4,000 square feet. And now you're in the ballpark of $90,000 to $120,000 gross per year before value adds. Yes, we'll cover expenses in a second. Story time. Maya, a former school teacher, converted her Michigan pole barn into a DIY aquaponics farm after watching one too many videos during a snowstorm. She started with 4 IBC totes, a stack of blue foam rafts, and exactly 0 experience with plumbing. Month 1. Clogged pipes, dead fish, tears. Month 3. Lettuce so beautiful the local bistro begged for exclusive rights. Month 6. She landed a contract packing weekly salad kits for a corporate cafeteria. Today, she nets over $4,000 a month from an operation barely bigger than 2 parking spaces, and the barn still smells like basil instead of manure. Real person, real profit. Of course, everything sounds rosy until reality barges in. So let's lay out the top challenges. Problem number 1, upfront cost shock pumps, plumbing, heaters, grow lights, fish fingerlings, seed, and sensors add up. A bare bones, climate-appropriate greenhouse with a 1,000-gallon system might run $12,000 to $15,000. A turnkey commercial kit can hit 6 figures. Portable farms once claimed an acre could clear $300,000 net per year, but you'd need roughly $1.2 million to build it right. Problem number 2, biological Jenga fish, bacteria, and plants all want different conditions. Let ammonia spike for a single afternoon, and you can lose every tilapia in the tank. Too little iron? Your kale yellows overnight. This is farming, not fill and forget hydroponics. Problem number 3, market math. You're not growing another tomato. You're selling a story. Local, living, sustainable. If your town doesn't reward that story with premium prices, your spreadsheets turn red fast. So how do we keep the dream alive and the bills paid? Here's the exploration phase, broken into 6 steps you can swipe. Step 1. Validate demand before tightening a hose clamp. Visit 3 restaurants, 2 small grocers, and your city's Saturday market. Ask, if I could bring you fresh basil, lettuce, and whole tilapia every week, how much could you move and what's a fair price? Get commitments on paper, nothing fancy, so you're not guessing after you build. Step 2. Choose a niche system size. If you only have a balcony, go micro. 100 gallons and leafy herbs you can cut every 10 days. If you've got that spare acre, design modular wings so you can expand without downtime. Remember, a feasibility study on a small greenhouse found a 44% profit margin and a payback in just over 2 years, but only when labor was efficient and energy costs were kept down. Step 3. Budget like a miser, then pad by 20%. Use off-the-shelf IBC tanks, food-grade barrels, and PVC instead of boutique gear. Hunt Craigslist for inline pumps. Splurge only on backup power. You can't afford a midnight outage. Step 4. Build redundancy into biology. Run 2 biofilters so cleaning one never starves the bacteria. Keep a quarantine tank for new fish. Automate pH and temperature alerts to your phone. Trust me, at 2 a.m., you'll appreciate that push notification. Step 5. Rotate crops and feed smart leafy greens. Pair perfectly with tilapia because both love warmer water. If you're in a cooler climate, trout plus watercress might be your combo. Tailor the feed so fish convert at least 1.5 pounds of feed to a pound of growth. Anything worse, and you're burning cash. Step 6. Monetize beyond fish and salad. Here are 7 revenue streams most people miss. Seedlings. Sell baby plants to local gardeners for 10 times the seed price. Farm tours. Schools pay for field trips without fields. Workshops. Charge weekend warriors $99 to build a mini system. CSA boxes. Mix greens, herbs, and a fillet for premium subscription kits. Value-added jars, pesto, salsa, even dehydrated kale chips bump margins. Consulting. Once you're the local expert, help others set up for a fee. Ebook or course, document the build, sell the blueprint online. Stacking just 2 of those can cover electricity and fish feed even in a slow sales week. Now, for the key moment, the climax. The instant you realize this hobby has legs. Picture Maya again. She's nervously delivering her first 40 heads of butter lettuce to Chef Antonio. He peels 1 leaf, tastes it, and without looking up says, "I'll need 200 next Wednesday, and do you have any edible flowers?" That one sentence locked in $800 a week and the confidence to quit her day job. Your moment will feel different. Maybe it's a PayPal ding or a sold-out farmer's market morning, but the math is similar. Consistent orders plus premium pricing equals liftoff. Let's bullet the essential math so you can screenshot. Greens. 5 ounces head of lettuce, 45-day cycle, average sale price, $2.50 direct, $1.75 wholesale. Fish. 1 pound fillet nets, roughly $8 wholesale, cost to raise about $3, including energy and feed. System yield. Expect 20 to 25 pounds of greens per square foot of raft per year under ideal turnover. Labor. Budget 1 hour a day. Maintenance for each 300 square foot module once dialed in. Break even. Target 18 months for a small commercial scale build. Real-world studies show 2 to 3 years is common, but doable. If you're still worried about market saturation, zoom out. Analysts peg the global sector at roughly $1.8 billion next year and almost $4 billion by 2035. Even a jackknife small sliver of that pie is more than enough for a side hustle or a full-time enterprise. Before we wrap, Here's a rapid-fire myth buster. Aquaponics is passive income. Nope. It's biological air traffic control. You can't compete with big ag. You're not. You're selling freshness, story, and zero pesticide greens hours after harvest. Fish licenses are a nightmare. They're paperwork, not kryptonite. Call your state extension office before buying fingerlings. All right? Deep breath. Let's bring it all home. Plant roots and fish tails in one recirculating ecosystem can do more than feed your family. They can fund your future / water use and wow customers who are tired of wilted supermarket greens. Validate demand, start small, stack income streams, and protect your biology like it's a newborn. Do that, and the day your pump hums to life will sound exactly like money.